So let's start at the $50,000 per year income level. When I graduated college, my first salary was $38,000 a year working in customer service, which adjusted for inflation is actually pretty close to $50K today. Now at that time, money was pretty tight, but it was still workable. And I think that if you're at this income level, you just have to understand the importance of every single dollar and give every dollar a job. The take-home pay at $50K per year is right around $3,400 a month, depending on your state. So that is your budget for your transportation, your groceries, your rent, and hopefully a little bit of savings. So the strategy at the $50K income level is all about the sequence in which you allocate your money. There are 5 priorities I think that we should talk about here. The first is going to be to kill off any high interest rate debt. And in 2026, that also includes buy now, pay later debt. The average credit card balance in America is over $6,000 according to Forbes. And at today's interest rates, that costs people over $100 a month in interest alone. If you make $3,400 a month to take home, $100 is going to be the difference between building savings and simply staying afloat and paycheck to paycheck. What's even scarier are companies like Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. They're going to promise you that you can buy something now and not pay any interest on it, and you can pay it off in 4 easy payments. What happens though is that if you stack 3 or 4 of these, then you've got hundreds of dollars a month of committed future income, which is basically just what debt is. So stay away from these if you can. If you do have buy now, pay later debt, I would write down all the debts that you owe there and then kill this debt before moving on to priority number 2. Number 2 is to get your full employer 401k match if you have access to it. So let's say your employer matches 4% of your salary on a $50,000 income. That's $2,000 a year of completely free money. The best part is that it's a 100% return on your money. So to be honest, there is no debt payoff or investment or anything on earth that basically guarantees you 100%. So if your employer offers this, I would definitely take advantage of it. I know some people will even prioritize this step before paying off debt, and you definitely can because mathematically it might be the more optimal thing to do. However, for me, I still think that the behaviorally best thing to do is to pay off any high interest rate debt and then start investing. The third priority is to prioritize that emergency fund, and you can start off pretty small. You've probably heard me say on the channel that you want to have an emergency fund worth between 3 to 6 months of expenses. That is still the goal, but if you're at a $50K income level with some debt, then I think a more realistic goal to shoot for is maybe 1 month of expenses saved up. So that would be $3,400 or your take-home pay per month in a high-yield savings account first. And even having 1 month is nice because if you do run into something like a car repair, it doesn't go straight onto a credit card and you won't undo any of your financial progress. Number 4 is the Roth IRA. So if you're making about $50K per year, the Roth IRA is basically your best friend. It's designed for you. You're in a really low tax bracket at the $50K income level currently, so you're going to pay taxes on your income now. But then with the Roth IRA, since the investment returns grow tax-free, any investment gains that you make in the Roth IRA, you won't pay any taxes on. So it's a really good trade to pay low taxes on your income now, contribute it to the Roth IRA, and then have your investments grow tax-free. The Roth IRA contribution limit in 2026 is $7,500 a year if you're under the age of 50, and most people at the 50K income level may have a hard time maxing that out because that's 15% of your total gross income. Just $200 a month invested into a Roth IRA starting at the age of 25 could still amount to over $700,000 in retirement at historical market returns. The last thing at this level you need to consider is what your time is worth, and that's priority number 5. 50K divided by 2,000 working hours a year means that your time is roughly worth 25 bucks an hour. So anytime you're making a decision around where you want to spend your time, you need to think about the fact that 1 hour is equal to $25. So if you're going to do a side hustle, it should at least make you that, if not more. While it's nice to earn some side hustle income, the highest ROI move usually isn't doing something like DoorDash or Uber. It usually is a certification or credential that allows you to increase your salary permanently. If you could increase your income permanently from, let's say, 50K to 55 or 50K to 60K per year, that is usually worth more than doing side hustles every weekend. So the goal at the 50K income level, it's not to optimize for the 50K income level forever. At 50K, it's hopefully just a stepping stone to higher incomes, and the habits that you are building at this income level with what we've just talked about, that's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. Then when you've started to make more money, you're going to have all these systems in place to keep more of that income